Welcome to episode 69 of the SNLF podcast, sponsored by New Style Apparel, the hottest clothing lines for the football casual. Head along to newstyleapparel.uk for Noah's latest lines and creations, as modelled by Michael in the top right-hand corner. Just the three of us this evening. No Gaz, he's got family commitments this evening. So up in the right-hand corner, as I just alluded to, is the man from the dugout, Mr. Mike McCaffrey. How are you, Mike?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Tough old week this week, but glad to be here after having annual leave last week.
I didn't know you had annual leave. I thought that's permanent.
You think that, mate? I say.
Well, I do think that, yeah. As it goes down in the bottom left-hand corner, the Sussex Stack Man. How are you, Mr. Pryor?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Another busy week of football for us to get through, and we'll get straight into it this evening. We're not gonna hang around, and we're delighted to have with us this evening the Infinity FC manager, Deck Siden. Deck, how are you doing?
Yes, very well, mate. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for giving up time and coming on this evening. Probably we've picked the right time to get you on with your form at the moment, and obviously we'll come to a little bit of that in a little while. Obviously, you've only been in the job a couple of months, and as a player manager as well, which isn't the easiest thing to do at any kind of level. Was it something you were ready for, or just the opportunity came and you thought, I've got to grab it?
Yeah, it sort of come about. It wasn't really expected. Obviously, what happened with Sean, I think that was around about the end of December. Yeah, and I was sort of the one who would always go between the players to Sean. And I spoke to Jody on the next day. I think we lost to Mile Oak, and it was all a bit up in the air. And I spoke to Jody and said that I'd be interested in maybe taking it on a little bit, even like to just steady it a bit. And I met with Jody the Sunday, and by the Monday, I'd agreed to do it. Like, obviously, yeah, it is sort of a player manager, but I haven't had to play yet. I'm trying to distance myself from that as much as I can because, like you say, it's tough. I don't think doing both is practical, really. So, yeah, just trying to keep more on the managing side rather than playing.
But obviously not giving up that registration just in case you've got to don the boots and get out there.
Yes, like I had somebody pull out on me Saturday at about midday, and I named myself on the bench, but I didn't even get dressed. And funny enough, I made all 4 subs, and we got an injury, and I played the last 10 minutes with 10 men.
Wow, perfect, isn't it? Now you came over to Infinity in November 24 from Petersfield. I was actually with Callum Glenn on Saturday down at Moneyfields. And he obviously said, about you and what you managed to do at Infinity as well. Was it how different did you find it moving over from? I mean, they were in the County League then, weren't they? I think so.
They were,
yeah. But you've had a lot of experience in the Wessex as well with Baffins and Moneyfields and a couple others as well. How do you find the difference between the Southern Combination and the Wessex?
The travelling's a lot worse for me. But standard-wise, yeah, I think they're pretty similar, to be honest. Only when I was real young did I play in obviously the Wessex one, which is the equivalent to what we're in now. So it's hard. I don't really know a lot about the Wessex Division 1, but definitely when I played for Petersfield in the Prem, it's the same with most leagues at this level. You have your strong sides and you have your not so strong sides, but the strong sides in the Wessex and the strong side in the Southern Combination are very similar, as shown. Obviously, Haywards Heath were running away, and Stoneham are running away at the Wessex, and they played in the Vars obviously this year. It was a very tight game. So I think the leagues are quite similar, to be honest.
Yeah, there probably isn't too much between these two. When you get to a couple of the others, there's certainly a little bit in it. Now, I think I've actually watched you play for US Portsmouth a few years ago. Me and Gaz went to watch a Vars game against Bournemouth Poppies. I think it was just before the second lockdown. We had all those years ago.
I do remember it because obviously at United Services, we played in the naval base and that was closed off as COVID was just about to start. We played the game at Portchester, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and we won 3-1. And obviously it went mad, COVID hit, and I don't think we played another Vars game for months. So strange season, that one.
Yeah, it certainly was as well. But it's funny the things you look back through and you can find out and think, oh, actually, there's a little bit of history there. Obviously, Infinity came close last year, getting to the playoff final and losing out to Forest Row in that extremely late goal, and obviously Sean had got the club up there again, this time around. And that has that kind of made things maybe just a little bit easier, that you're coming into a really good situation rather than a lot of managers come in with a club either in turmoil or really struggling.
Yeah, to be honest, I got on really well with Sean. I couldn't speak highly enough of him. Always got on with him, and yeah, like the foundations were there. Like we did have a good side with Sean, but I would say I haven't necessarily gone in and not signed anybody. Like we have probably brought in 5 or 6 players, which has probably been very key to the turning form, I would say. But the foundations, he definitely did lay good foundations, and it was ready that we were ready to go with 2 or 3 additions.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to be in. Did you lose a few when he went, or has it relatively been quite a smooth kind of transition?
We lost a few. I'd say probably we lost 5 or 6, and we probably bring in 5 or 6 is what the transition's been.
Yeah, it obviously isn't too bad, especially when you're trying to go up against a couple of others in the title race as well. The less disruption you can have, the better it is.
Yeah, and it actually worked out quite well with the bad weather, really, because I came in and I think in January we played 1 game. So, like, I had a lot of time to get players in. It wasn't like I was playing Saturday, Tuesday, and I'm rushing here, there, and everywhere to get people in. It gave me a month to really get the players in who I had to get in and really get us settled.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, actually, did you find it quite frustrating that you couldn't get going and you were sort of start a little bit? But it sounds as if actually it's worked in your favour.
Yeah, to be honest, I would say it probably did work in our favour. The first game, I think I don't know when we lost to Mile Oak, but then we played Worthing, and to be honest, I think I'd brung 3 or 4 probably in by then. One of them being my good mate who I played with at Moneyfield, Josh Hazel, and within 3 minutes we've conceded a corner. He's punched it off the line, red card penalty, 3 minutes into management.
I remember that day. Yeah, I do remember that. I was at Ringmer that day.
To be fair, they missed the penalty, but then we went in at half time, 1-0 down, but we were really good. And second half, it was real windy that day. We had the wind and we dominated second half, went 1-1, and then Tommy's missed a penalty to win it. And he's like another one of my really good mates. He's the most reliable man from the penalty spot, apart from when it's my first job in management, apparently.
He's a great player, Tommy. I watched him when he was over at Horndean the year they went up, from the Wessex into the Isthmian. You've probably got 3 or 4 players there at least that should be playing, a level or 2 higher. So if you win promotion this year, would you kind of envisage not needing to add too many bodies to the squad?
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, like we're near enough, I would say, ready to go, because as you say, we've brung in players that most of them probably have never even played at this level. I've brung in Ed Sanders from Baffins, and he has been outstanding for us, to be fair. Always played at step 5 or higher, and I've known Ed for years through playing against him, and I just see that one week that he was on the bench for Baffins, got in contact, and he said that he hadn't played for a couple of weeks. Said that I was building like a good side over here, said the players that I'd brung over, and he was like, mate, I'm all over it, like definitely up for it. As soon as, obviously, what else? Wow, it half worked in my favour, but obviously as I got the job, obviously all what happened with Petersfield.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm really good mates with Connor's one of my best mates. So I thought, what a chance, because there's 5 or 6 of them that I'll go after.
Yeah.
But then so-and-so happened, like a few of them went elsewhere, and the only one really that I managed to get over the line was obviously Harrison. But what a signing for us he's been. Like, he's played 3 games, and to be honest, he looks a level above. He has looked a level above in the games we've played so far.
Yeah, obviously known people like Connor and obviously Callum one step higher as well. Is it easy to call in the kind of favours if you need 1 or 2 players and that just to help you a little bit?
It's massive. Like, definitely having that pass through play, and you've built relationships in your playing career. Like, obviously Callum was one of my best mates at Moneyfields. I had Connor at Petersfield. Like, I get on really well with Simon Woods at Fareham, and he's helped us out with a few players. Like, quite a few of my mates play for Porchester, and I'm really good mates with Gav at Porchester. Like, having these connections is massive, especially at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike?
Decade doing, pal?
Yeah, all good, mate.
Good. I'll put it on the record. I was majorly concerned for your boys when Sean left. You know the pedigree he had. You know what he'd done in the game. You obviously know what he brought to the club. Thankfully, it looks like it was a blessing in disguise because you've gone on such a vain run of form at the moment. And you just mentioned, about the boy Cable. He is some player, and he's scoring goals. I think Gaz said last night that you guys, when you played Arundel last night, were one of the best he's seen. And it's not easy to go away to Arundel and do that to him. You're picking up the form. What's the mood in the camp after what happened? Was it divided? Were you united? Did you have to make the changes yourself? Did you get full control of the changes you want to make?
So it was so up in the air after the Mile Oak game because obviously like it all went off a little bit after that game, and I just thought, wow, like we were in a bad place at that time because Sean did set the foundations, but I think we had lost something like 3 or 4 in a row. Like we were in a bad place. Obviously, all that happened, and I think that was one of the key things for me is like if I was going to do it, I need to have full control in who I'm going to get rid of, who I want to bring in, like. Because I just think that's how it should work. If the manager's not the one bringing the players in or getting rid of the players, then what's the point in the manager sort of thing? But so like I said, we lost I think we lost 5 or 6 the first week. And then I think we were meant to have a game and it got called off. And I was in a little bit of panic stations thinking, oh, have I even got a side here? But then as the weeks went on and I spoke to more people and then the side just built. Like I think we played Dorking away in February. And I think we had 2 subs, and I named myself. And
you won 3-0, didn't you?
We did win 3-0. We did win 3-0, granted, yeah. But like, I was like scrambling around like on the Saturday morning, like just we were so short on numbers at the start. But like now it's got to the point where I'm having to leave boys out the squad. Like we've got 16, 17 good players now.
Yeah, I mean, and I look at your run that you've got, your running coming. I reckon. And I don't want to put no target on your head. I reckon that's the easier run of the people around you, of the teams around you. I'll be honest. I think a lot of people, if you look at it, and this is no disrespect to the teams, your running is Jarvis Brook, Loxwood, Selsey, Uckfield, Ringmer, and away to Oakwood. I think you put yourselves in the box seat to go and deliver. And you probably feel a bit let down if you didn't give it a good go, do you reckon?
I would say we definitely feel let down now if we didn't give it a good go. We have put ourselves in a great position, but at the end of the day, it's massively in Godalming's hands. Like, I will not say that I fancy us until it's like, right, you win every game, you win the league. We are still at this point relying, like, it's in Godalming's hands. Like, it's completely in their hands. If they go and win every game, I think we need them to drop 4 points. So it's not even like we need them to slip up once. We need them to slip up twice, and we would need to win every game. So honestly, I think it's in their hands, but we will do all we can do. Like after the Worthing game, I sat everyone down. I think Dorking was our next game, and I said to look around. Like we had a seriously good changing room, and our aim should be that we are going to try and win every game, and we are going to put the maximum pressure. So if teams around us do slip up, that we're there to take our chance. And so far, obviously, the Worthing game was a bit of a freak. We should have won, to be honest. I think they'll probably agree. No disrespect, Worthing are a very good side, but on the day, we probably should have won that game. Yeah, but we've put ourselves in a good position, to be fair.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to this. It's made the league now really entertaining. It's going to go down to the wire. I just want to know one more thing from you, and also shout out to Charlie Bone, who does your social media.
Don't pinch my last bit. That was on my last bit.
No, he's very good. Very good, young Charlie.
Yeah, got a lot of time for the lad. So keep doing your thing, Charlie. But last question for you, Deck. Of the games that you've come in and managed, who do you think was the toughest that you played?
Easiest question you've asked me, probably.
Go on.
Saltdean.
Yeah, I tell you what, a lot of people next year are tipping them to do some good things with what's happening with that club. You could. Yeah.
So I sort of knew, obviously, because I played with Petersfield in the league above, and I think that Lawrence, maybe was it Shoreham or someone?
Yeah, Low Edwards
and Vardinians.
Yeah.
And Vardinians. And I'd obviously played against them sides in the league above, and I thought if he's coming down to this league, like anyone, and like I've mentioned about having your contacts, he's going to have his contacts, he's going to have his players. So I knew that they would be decent. They had turned it around in form. I think before we played them, they had won 3 in a row. But I thought, well, you should never think like this. But I thought they got to come from Saltdean on a Tuesday night. But mate, they were a seriously good side.
Yeah, I think they definitely do. Well, Dec, I'm looking forward to coming down and see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, you have to definitely get down.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, make sure the bar's stocked though, Dec.
Of course.
No. I'm out of the game now, boys. I'm out of the game.
That's never an issue down there.
I've got the water today. But yeah, Dec, thanks for coming on, mate. You're absolutely flying. You've come in there. Your boys are red hot. You know, banging in for fun. Love to see it. One last thing. When I came down to your club last time, I was doing like an overnight walk with Seaford. They raced pigeons at your place as well, didn't they?
If they do, I don't know.
Next door to have a look. And then, mate, if you haven't seen that, you need to have a look at that, Dec, because that is the little geezer with a little hut. Brilliant stuff. Anyway,
I'm gonna have to look out for that.
Anyway, shout out to your chairman, and I'll pass you over. Cheers for coming on, pal.
No worries, mate. Thank you.
Chris?
All right, Dec. Nice to meet you. Mike unfortunately stolen. Not only made me look like Shergar tonight, but he's also nicked my bit about the running. Because I mean, what do you think about? Like, do you think the fact that you haven't got a massive backlog of games like quite a few of the teams? Do you think that's going to work in your favour during the rest of the season?
It's a tough one because I'm a big believer is when you're playing and when you're on these runs, you want to play every day if you could, because you're flying, everyone's around it, everyone's together. To be honest, the biggest thing that I've probably done is like we are a real close knit group, like off the pitch, on the pitch, like we do things like away from football together. Like we are a real tight knit group, but obviously we play Saturday, then we don't play for 2 weeks. And if you ask me, I think that's a hindrance rather than a plus. Yeah, while you're riding the wave, you want to keep it going as much as you can, in my opinion.
I completely agree with you. And look, we said this I was saying this a lot last season. Admittedly, I wasn't on the podcast, so I was saying it to myself. But with Arundel's run last year, they were having to play 2 times a week for ages, but they went on a mad run from about 16th up into the playoffs in the end. So it can absolutely work in your favour like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Mike's kind of taken my point about the running, but I do wish you well. I mean, you've started like a train, 3 clean sheets out of 5. You've scored 3 in each of your last 5, and in that, by the way, you've played a good Saltdean side, like you say. You've won at a run Arundel 4-1, which other than Walkoutians on the first day, not many teams go to Arundel and teach them a lesson. And obviously, you've beaten the leaders Godalming 3-0 at their place, which I think is probably their biggest defeat in the last 2 seasons. So you've done all you can to get it not into your hands, because as you rightly point out, it is in Godalming's hands at the moment. But they've still got 2 more games, to slip up, and they've got some tough fixtures do remain for Godalming. In fact, they've got Arundel at home on Saturday, and I think you might have just motivated them with that win last night. They've finished at Worthing United on the last day as well.
Yeah, that could be massive. But obviously, it's one of them. Like, obviously, yeah, it's horrible. There's nothing worse than if you go to the last day and you think, oh well, it's out of our hands again. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And obviously, we've won some tough games, but they're all tough now. We've got 6, and I know that it doesn't, like, looking at the table, they don't look, but every game's massive. Like, anything can happen is what I keep drumming into the boys. Like, if you turn up and you're off it for one little bit, teams still punish you in this league. There's still some good sides down that bottom. Like, I think we've got to play Ringmer, who beat us away. Selsy's a local derby. They're always like we're up for it against them, and they're up for it against us. So that's still potentially a tough game. Like, although, like, I went for it today, I think we've got to play like 11th, 13th, 16th, 17th, 15th. But there's no easy game at this stage of the season.
No, fair enough. Fair play. But let's say, wish you luck for the rest of the season anyway.
No, I appreciate that, mate.
Well, listen, as Mike's taken away my bit, I was going to ask you about Charlie anyway. I'll spin it in a slightly different way than that. Obviously you guys can do good things on the pitch and that, but trying to get your club onto social media and get it out there, in front of everyone else is the most difficult thing, especially when you're in a clutch of clubs, in such a short radius and that. How easy is it to get people involved off the pitch as well as it is on the pitch and push the club forward in both directions?
I would say it's tough for me because obviously all my people that I would say sort of connections are from down in Portsmouth way. Obviously that's out in Sidlesham, but it's something that I haven't really had to be involved with. Obviously I've only been involved for a short space of time, so I imagine doing that side of things off the pitch is something that I will have to look into more definitely in the summer. But for the time being, it's like Jodie's quite good. He lets me really just get on with focus on the pitch.
Yeah, and obviously you got Georgie as well in the background, who's doing some great stuff as well as Jodie.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Deck, really great to have you on this evening. And as the guy said, best of luck for the rest of the season. You're certainly keeping it interesting for us on here anyway to chat about every week. We know which is what we like to do. And fingers crossed you're going to be in the mix again at the end of the season.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Dick. Take care, pal.
No worries. Cheers, guys.
All the best, mate.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Nice guy, ain't he, Dick? Talks well.
Yeah, he
doesn't
is. Yeah, not bad because they've drafted him in at short notice as well. So he did quite well, bless him. Did quite well. But yeah, like we say, at least it's opened up Division 1 a little bit more. With them picking some results off of some of the others. And when you're in that top 5 or 6, you got to pick points off of the teams around you, not just beat the teams that are down the bottom end of the table.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about their running, and I think between us here, we'd all agree that is the easier of the run-ins around there, don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh, by distance. They're the only one of the top 7 who haven't got another one of the top 7 yet to play.
Wow.
And Godalming have got 3 of them. So, yeah, any lost ground there from the G's, and I think Infinite will be ready to pounce. I mean,
you can't see him stopping at the moment, can you? Not at all.
No, particularly not. I mean, look, you would have thought last night would have been the chance. I think if anybody was going to stop him, Arundel down there would have been one of them. But they just, 4-1, and like you say, Gaz isn't here tonight, but from what he was saying on the group last night, he was seriously impressed with Infinity.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's get into all the action.
How are we anyway, gents? How are we?
Sorry?
I missed you last week. I missed
Oh, yeah, of course you weren't here, were you?
Yeah, I missed you. Good show. Good game, as they say.
Good game, yeah, it was indeed, wasn't it?
Right, what is on the agenda tonight?
Right, let's get going then. Sussex Senior Cup semi-final last night at Culver Road between Three Bridges and Lancing. I actually wasn't very far from Three Bridges in Crawley, but obviously they were down a little bit further south. And they turned over the National League South side by 4-2 and put themselves into a Sussex Senior Cup final. I did mean to look up, Chris, and I don't know if you had. Is it the first time Three Bridges have been in the final, or are we talking quite a few years since they were last there?
Oh, good question. I don't know, actually.
Good. I'll leave you with that then, and I'll have a chat with Mike about it while we're here. Did you watch any of it, Mike? 'Cause I think it was streamed, wasn't it, last night?
Yeah, I watched I watched from about 25 minutes in. Great stream, by the way, by the Sussex FA, and your instant replay. Fantastic. Didn't have any sound on though, which I thought was a bit weird. You know, normally, unless it was just me, but couldn't hear any sound. But one thing I did see.
You did turn it up.
Yes, mate. Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay.
But one thing.
Yeah.
I did see. I have not seen one team work harder off the ball than those Three Bridges boys last night this season by far. They are a problem. A real problem. And I tell you what, they haven't had no excuses because Three Bridges battered them. Literally battered them. They were clinical. They were winning. They must have won 75, 80% of the aerial battles, I reckon, as well. The one-on-ones, they wanted it more. They were clinical finishing. Krells is just, he's got some side there, you know. Who's to say when he goes and wins that league, because he's got a good chance now in the final as well, how would he not be manager of the year?
Yeah, should be at least for Sussex, shouldn't he? You know, and I mean,
who could compare after doing that?
Possibly only Hinch if he takes Worthing into the National League, because you're at the top pinnacle of the game for a club that's never been at that level before.
When ironically last night he totally out tactics him, I'd accept.
Yeah, I mean, I understand he made quite a few changes, something like 9 or 10 from the weekend. But do you think as well that told him a lot about the depth of his squad?
Possibly. There's some possibly are not where he wants them to be. I think he was disappointed, Hinch, regarding the application, the effort the Worthing players put in. You know,
yeah,
it was never going to be a gimme. It was never going to be a gimme though. Playing Three Bridges on that in the form they're in, not you know. I think what that coaching staff and as a club as a whole, I think Paul's the chairman, is he over there?
Yeah,
yeah, and he's been there years. But I retweeted saying today, you know, Jamie's been there as a player,
10 years,
captain, a coach, a manager. That's his team. That's what he's built. You know.
I mean, just
the fairy tale has ended yet. I really don't.
I mean, just before we came online, we were saying about Jimmy Ball leaving AFC Tottenham to go to, you know, Torquay United, and Jimmy done a fantastic job there, bringing Tottenham through from the Wessex League all the way through to the National League South. And I've always said someone like Jamie as well is one of those coaches I feel should be a lot higher, possibly 2 steps higher. You know, by the looks of things, he's going to be 1 step higher next year, barring any miracle of something going wrong. But it's good that people are looking outside of the usual names and the usual suspects, and people are getting a chance, you know, higher up the food chain. May not work for them like it didn't for Scott Bartlett at Eastleigh stepping up 1 level from Western-super-Mare, but you know, there is a whole wealth of coaches and managers and players underneath the top 2 levels of the National League as well that sometimes just need that step down or work hard where they are and then get that reward.
And that team, that Bridges team, will get better. 100%. They're a young squad. They're hungry. You know, they want that limelight. You can see it, you can see that they know they're decent, but at the same time they can pull it off. They can talk the talk. You know, shout out to Keith the groundsman. He's our little mate. He's
Keith Richardson.
Shout out Keith. Love Keith. He's a top man. But yeah, look, what they're doing at Bridges is phenomenal. They thoroughly deserved it last night. Great for the club. Is it Eastbourne Borough?
Eastbourne Borough or Brighton under 21s will be in the final, but there's no date I could see yet as of Monday for their semi-final.
Blockbuster game, whatever that is, blockbuster. But yeah, look, doing bits. Can't speak more highly enough of the club. Really can't at the moment.
Yeah, they're the best side I've come across this season. Probably any level. I've seen Town come up against them on day 1, and Town gave it a good go, but then we lost Lucas Rodriguez to a red card, and then their class absolutely told. You know, they've got the 3 top scorers in that division in the Southeast are all at 3 Bridges. They've all got 20+ goals. We're in the middle of March. Like, the job that they have done. I mean, I've seen us play. I've seen us play most of the sides in the division, to be fair. And I wasn't massively impressed with any. I don't think there's been any team who's really blown me away, other than 3 Bridges. Because they've blown Town away twice. I was lucky that I was on holiday when they came to the Saffrons, luckily. But,
mate, they're relentless.
They're ridiculous.
They do not give you a sniff at all.
No.
They're on you every single moment, mate.
I mean, you've got 2.
If you want to play,
you could quite easily go into next week and Noah Leighton and Reece Howard will both be on 30+ goals.
Yeah,
easily. But do you know the one thing that really doesn't get talked about half as much, because Reece Howard, Noel Leighton, Charlie Bennett steal all the headlines. Adi Akinyinka from defensive midfield has got 11 or 12 goals this season. And when your defensive midfielders getting that far forward to find the back of the net, when I watched them against East Grinstead earlier in the season, he got 2. Now, he was at some points, he was further forward, than where Noel Leighton was. I mean, Reece Hallard didn't play that night because he was out injured. But I think he's one of the most underrated, not underrated, one of the unnoticed players that goes about and actually does more than just his position, of where he should be. And when you've got players like that doing their bits, you just got goals everywhere in that side. And, no one can match so far their 100 or over 100 they've notched this year.
No, 110 in the league. And I mean, in the cups.
It's just in the league.
Yeah, that's just in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Sussex Senior Cup,
Disgusting.
They put 10 past Wick. So I'm just looking at the league and they got 110, but they must have, 30 plus in cups.
Yeah.
I can't speak highly enough of. Yeah, they are the best side I've come across this season.
Yeah, I think they are the foundations of the club as a whole are well in tune and ready to go to that next level.
Yeah, absolutely. They are. So congratulations to Jamie and Three Bridges, and no doubt at least one or two of us, excuse me, will be watching the final whenever it is in May at the Amex. Right, let's get in.
Buzzing.
Like a bee. Right, let's get into the National League South and results last Saturday. Eastbourne Borough went down 1-0 at home to Maidenhead United. Horsham lost by the same score at home to Tunbridge Angels, and Worthing beat Chelmsford by 2-0. Then on Tuesday evening, as we mentioned, Worthing went down 4-2 to Three Bridges in the Sussex Senior Cup semi-final. And in the National League South, Horsham beat Bath City by 2-1. This coming Saturday, Worthing head to managerless AFC Tottenham. Eastbourne Borough head to fellow relegation strugglers Chippenham Town, and Horsham head to Hampton and Richmond. Then on Tuesday evening, Worthing are heading west to Western Supermare. Certainly looks like Horsham is safe now, having got over the 50-point marker, and the fact that bottom four can't seem to string enough results to get out of it. Are we looking at sort of the last 7 or 8 games for Horsham a little bit audition style for who's going to still be at the club for next season? Because I imagine there'll be a few changes in the summer.
Yeah, first and foremost, the job Dom DePaola and his group of coaches, Punts, Chappers, all those lads in there have done an incredible job. That their target was to establish themselves for the year after, to stay up. And they've done that. They've had great cup runs and that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think now they know. The question is really, can the club match probably Dom and his coaching staff's ambitions moving forward, wanting to go again to that next level, or is really pushing and giving yourself a chance? He's going to need backing. But you're right, it's probably will be these last 5, 6, 7, 8 games. They are an audition for what he wants. He'll have a good idea within his head anyway of where he wants, what he's missing, But take nothing away about the job those lads have done there. Incredible.
No.
And still some of the best burgers around.
I mean, stat-wise, some of the stats from Horsham, they've got the 4th best away record in the league.
Fantastic.
Which, again, this is their debut season at Step 2. And duck to water. They've never been in any threat of relegation. They went up until the injury started to really bite. They were 13 unbeaten up until the sort of early December. Don't forget as well an FA Trophy quarterfinal. They went to Southend, knocked them out. No, Scunthorpe. They went to Scunthorpe, not them. Yeah. And then went down. They were seemingly a bit unlucky to lose to Southend in the quarters. What a season! Like, I think if you'd offered Horsham fans this at the start of the season, I think they probably would have had you sectioned. I don't think they would have been like, nah, not happening.
The old Lardy Army.
What a season! I saw them at Eastbourne Borough, which admittedly might not be the best gauge to against which to judge a team, but they were. It was 2-0 going on 4 or 5. Genuinely, they were so much clear of Eastbourne Borough. So no, massive pat on the back. I do think they're safe. I mean, they've got 52 points, and in all of my 10,000.
Statman, are they officially Statman safe?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. I think the maximum number you needed was 51, and they're already on 52.
There you go.
Statman
certified.
Yeah, Statman certified. Get your flip flops on, boys.
I doubt Dom will like that.
No, he won't. But sorry, Dom, but
I doubt he'd let him either, to be fair.
that's true.
Right, into the Isthmian Premier Division, and results on Saturday. Chichester City drew 1-1 with St Albans City. Lewis beat Dulwich by 2-1. Burgess Hill Town won 4-2 at Ramsgate, and Whitehawk lost 3-0 to Cray Wanderers. On Tuesday evening, Whitehawk lost out again, this time 3-1 at home to Cheshunt. On Saturday, it's Burgess Hill Town hosting Chatham. Chichester City head to Cray Valley Paper Mills. Lewis are at Dartford, and Whitehawk are at Welling. We said last week, I think it was, Mike, that Lewis desperately needed a win, and duly obliged at the weekend. So their first win in 6, but I would say it's probably just about enough to tip them over the line to be safe for another year.
Yeah, I think the immediate threat of going down has been halted. The ship has been steadied, and they're close to being Statman certified. You know, be interesting to see what coach gets down there for next season. You know, what kind of, what should we say, resources he'll have to bring in what he wants, because you know he come in, and that really nice guy. He's got his contacts around there, you know, from where he's been. So yeah, it's good to have them safe, because I do worry about them not just on the pitch but off the pitch as well. With what we, you know, especially we've seen a lot of stuff about clubs and how they spend and how they do that off the pitch recently with the accounts. So yeah.
And Chris, I think we gave Whitehawk the curse of the podcast a few weeks ago when we said they were doing really well. If they win their games in hand, they'd be right in the playoff mix. But now no win in 6 and consecutive 3 goals shipped.
Yeah, they're at the bottom of the form guide now. Poor old Whitehawk.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it's a weird league, this one. I think this and the South Central as well. Like, it's basically a top 5, a bottom couple, and then a bit of a morass. And like, there's just so many teams of similar standing that really you can just get sucked into it, like form wise. I mean, to be fair to Whitehawk, they've had three pretty tough away games down at Chatham, Averley, and Dulwich. And then they had Cray at home, who were chasing the playoffs. I think Cheshunt's a bit more worrying. But yeah, sorry, boys. We may have put the kibosh on your slim hopes for the playoffs, which I'm sorry to say. But although, to be fair, give credit to Burgess Hill as well. 5 in a row now for them.
Their debut season as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, safe already, but now pushing on. First time they've won 5 in a row in the Isthmian Prem. I mean, Jay and Gary, we've said it multiple times. You know, they're building something really exciting down there, and two great guys that you want to see it happen with. Allegedly, very, very good owners off the pitch. So
they seem to be, Burgess Hill seems to be a club doing everything right at the moment. What I would say is, though, their next their run of fixtures now is horrible. Chatham at home, Billericay away, Brentwood at home are the next 3. So that's 3 of the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. So, and
because
then
they can't be going into it in any better form.
No, they couldn't. But I think, I think
all 3 of those sides, Chris, as well, are in good form as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, Billericay have won 11 of the last 12. So yeah, I think that's basically Billericay's turning form has been quite spectacular, and I think that's basically. I think Burgess Hill will miss out on the playoffs. But good God, what a debut season! And by the way, I said there'd be goals at Ramsgate. I didn't realize it'd be 4-2. So that's 4-2 and a 4-3 between them 2. But I think them 2 actually serve as a decent lesson for 3 Bridges, because 3 Bridges are going to come up. I'll say it now. They're done. But them 2 have both taken, a similar approach to this season, particularly Ramsgate. Like, just go for it, hell for leather, and see what happens. Now, Bridges are not short of firepower. So I think if they do the same thing, I think we could be talking about, them and Burgess Hill and Chichester all going at it again next season.
Yeah, it'd be nice actually, because I mean, if you look at the top of the table, it's Kent and Essex based all the way through, isn't it? Till you get to Burgess Hill. So it'd be nice if we could break the monopoly.
Well, we've got Borough. Well, I'd be adding Eastbourne Borough to that as well, probably.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, we'll actually quite have a big representation next year by the looks of things in the Isthmian Prem, which will make a change. Right, into the Isthmian South East, and results last Saturday. Broadbridge Heath went down 6-1 at Ashford United. Crowborough Athletic beat Beckenham Town 2-0. Eastbourne Town beat Sittingbourne by the same score. Hastings United went down 1-0 at home to Margate. East Grinstead Town lost 4-1 at Herne Bay. Hassocks lost 2-1 at Mersham, and Three Bridges beat Sevenoaks Town by the same score. Then on Tuesday evening, as we mentioned, Three Bridges through in the Sussex Senior Cup final. In the South East Division, Hassocks won 4-2 at Broadbridge Heath. Crowborough Athletic lost 4-0 at home to Faversham, and East Grinstead Town drew 2-2 with VCD Athletic. This coming Saturday, Broadbridge Heath hosts Mersham. East Grinstead Town at home to AFC Croydon Athletic. Crowborough Athletic now travel to Faversham. That's a quick turnaround. Hassocks host VCD Athletic. Eastbourne Town go to Jersey Bulls, and Three Bridges go to Margate. We said as well last week, Hassocks needed a win. Hassocks duly delivered a win on Tuesday evening against a rather out of form Broadbridge Heath at the moment. And with Erith losing at Sittingbourne on the same night as well, there's a little bit of life in mid-Sussex there.
I reckon they're going to start.
I think a lot depends on this weekend. If they beat VCD this weekend, that gives them a lot of hope. I mean, Beckenham won last night, which wasn't great for Hassocks, because that pulls them a little bit closer behind. But I think if they win again this weekend, they're right in the mix of it. But they can't afford to drop too many more games, can they?
Well, no. And I mean, firstly, they were bloody. It seems like they were unlucky at Mersham on Saturday. They were 1-0 up with 5 to go. So something's obviously been sparked in Hassocks, which is great to see. And last night looked brilliant. What I will just say for Hassocks, and I don't say this for Hassocks, and I say this with a lump in my throat, their remaining run is possibly the hardest left in the division.
Go on, enlighten us.
Right, VCD at home on Saturday is possibly about as winnable as it get, and as much as like VCD drew with East Grinstead last night. It's then Margate away. Now, Margate do have a propensity to drop points randomly at home, have done for quite a while. Then it's Hastings at home on Good Friday.
That's massive. That's a massive game.
That's massive, but listen to these four. Three Bridges away. That'll possibly be a title. That'll be probably a title party for Bridges. Then it's Croydon at home, and then it's Sittingbourne at home. So, and then Ashford away, and Ashford are pretty. They've been pretty good since the turn of the year. So that is they need to be out of the relegation zone by Good Friday, because I think if they're not,
they have to rise again on the Sunday.
And by the way, Erith have got East Grinstead at home and Beckenham at home still. So the bottom two at home have got to go to Erith. I just think
I still back those Westlake lads to come through, put it together, put off a great escape.
Yeah,
well, it's
not going to be easy.
We had to do it last year, didn't we?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy at all. But again,
no.
What was their target this year?
Well, quite. No, this is the thing.
Yeah,
this is their debut at step 4.
Yeah.
Going from a club who do not pay players to this division where there are some pretty big hitters. So, again, to be in a position they're in is not a bad reflection on anybody at that club. But I do think that 16-game winless run, I think has probably seen them off.
What does the predictor say, Statman?
They're goosed. 92.8% chance of relegation. Because again, that run-in...
Yeah.
You're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, 8% chance of staying up.
7.2.
I mean, they've got more of a chance. They've got more of a chance now than East Grinstead had in December when you still said they were safe.
I'm backing those assets, boys. Go on, lads. Go and do it. Go and get Pat on for a few games. Go on, get him off the bench.
Yeah, imagine that.
Gamble responsibly, everyone. Gamble responsibly.
Get the chairman score winning goal in the 89th minute. He comes on to save the club. Love that. Imagine that kind of story.
That'd be like Jimmy Glass level.
That would, wouldn't it? Gary goals.
Imagine that. Right, let's get into the Isthmian South Central Division and results on Saturday. Bognor Regis Town won 3-0 at Bedfont Sports. Littlehampton Town went down 4-0 at home to Egham. This coming Saturday, Littlehampton head to Binfield and Bognor Regis Town are at home to Met Police. And on Tuesday evening, Littlehampton Town are at home to Rains Park Vale. Good to see Danny Hollands get off the mark with a win. Probably needs a couple more just to be 100% sure that Bognor aren't going to be touching that bottom four, but didn't quite go to plan for Littlehampton at the weekend.
They're going to start up too.
No, I mean, if it did go to plan, then we need to have a look at what their plan was. But no, that's not a good result by any means. In terms of Bognor, they're not quite safe just yet, but they're not miles off. But I reckon one more win will do it. In terms of the bottom three, I don't think there'll be a bigger game anywhere in Sussex this weekend than. Well, admittedly, this one isn't, but Binfield versus Littlehampton.
I was going to say, it's not in Sussex, is it? But
no, depends who's drawing your maps. But no, I think Binfield versus Littlehampton is gargantuan this weekend.
And obviously, Bognor could do them a favour by taking points off of Met Police as well, who are right down in that mix as well. But I think the pivotal game is Tuesday night. Because I think if they don't lose on Saturday but only get a point, and fail to win on Tuesday, then that's a game in hand used up. Binfield will still have one game in hand. Kingstonian has still got one or two as well. It's just those clubs in and around them until those games in hand are used up. If they can take their own points, Littlehampton, then they're in with a chance. But the problem again is where the goal's coming from, because George is still not fit. There is no out-and-out striker. We know Dave Herbert had a bit of an issue at Arundel last night, which again could have ramifications for him being dual registered at Littlehampton. They haven't got that many options, which is part of the problem of they are where they are. Yeah,
that's been their Achilles heel all season, hasn't it? The number of times they don't score in a game. Wow, and Southall are beating Westfield. Didn't see that coming.
It's not great either.
No. Although, I mean, Littlehampton were 9 points behind them at the start of the play anyway. So, arguably, there's so many more teams who did catch first. But yeah, 47 goals is, other than Fareham and Horndean, who are the bottom two and have been for quite a long time, is the worst attack in the league, I think. And I think since start of November, they've been in the relegation zone. Well, they are in the relegation zone. There's no two ways about it, but. Just that form over a prolonged period of time now for Littlehampton.
Yeah, I still think those goals to get out of it. I really do. Look, they've had some bad luck. They haven't been scoring goals. They could say that, But I went back against Mitch and the boys. They've got to go and do something in the next couple of week games. Though.
Yeah, I mean, literally, they've got to pick up, I think, at least 4 points out of these two games at the weekend. If they get a point out of each, not enough. And again, the problem is scoring goals and not keeping clean sheets at the other end as well. You can get away if you're going to nick a goal, but they're very porous at the other end. I mean, we've said all year, Chris, haven't we, that their games seem to contain 3 goals, whether it's they lose 3-0 or it's 2-1 either way. And it's been that, hasn't it, most of the way through?
Yeah, it has, and their goal difference tells to that. Minus 22, whereas Binfield one place above them. Minus 11, even Met Police minus 17. So that is putting Littlehampton at a significant disadvantage, because even if they do manage to catch them points wise, there's still that little kicker in the side.
What do the Statman models say?
63% down. But what I will say with this one is, again, it is so close. Like Ascot, I think Ascot are pretty gone, but between Littlehampton, say, and Rains Park Vale, that's what 8 points, but that's 9 teams. Like, it just all it takes is for Littlehampton to start just string, say, 2 wins together. If one of them teams bombs, then it's back. It's back on again. Littlehampton. I mean, I was looking at it's very much run-in review week for me at the moment. Looking at these teams and who they've got left, and Littlehampton, other than they've got Leatherhead and Moneyfields.
Moneyfields, that'd be a tough one.
Well,
so will Leatherhead, having watched both of them play at the weekend. Trust me, they'll struggle to find a way past Leatherhead.
That's their Easter weekend. So that's not 2 games particularly you want, but they finish at Horndean, and there are far worse games to finish on, I think.
Far worse pitch as well. No disrespect to Horndean, but their pitch isn't in the greatest of shape either. So that could be a leveler, or it could be one that sinks them.
Well, yeah, quite. I mean, my model's basically got them 2 down, and Ascot pretty much there. It's between Littlehampton and probably Met Police for that final spot, and Met Police haven't won in 5 either, nor have Binfield, nor have Littlehampton, so they're all in horrible form.
I'm back in the golds. Back in the golds. Come on, boys.
We all are.
Go on, Chris.
I was going to say, I think we all are from a Sussex point of view, but the reality is they might go down.
I mean, like we said last week as well, the reality of 3 sides finishing in the bottom 4 in 2 different divisions has like massive ramifications underneath of who's going to play where next season, because we won't, if we get 3 clubs into the Southern Combination Prem, someone from the Southern Combination Prem is going to get shunted some way. But then we saw a few years ago, though, when Epsom won the playoffs at step 6, when they went up step 5, went straight across to the combined counties. That could be Godalming next year. It could be Guernsey going across. No one knows. It just who depends. I
tell you what, whoever does come down, there's some of our local teams that could be coming down. It will be one of the toughest leagues to get out of next year.
Yeah, really interesting.
100%.
I mean, saying that, and obviously we're getting to it in a minute. When you look at the table as it is now, and the fact that the top 6 are pulled away from, top 5 are pulled away from everyone else, just shows the strength in amongst those. You add, Hassocks, if they come down, are not going to be shrinking violets. Neither are East Grinstead Town, and Littlehampton know the level well enough anyway. You add those into the mix, and then anyone coming up from Division 1 as well, anyone that moves laterally across, it's going to be crazy.
Do you reckon they'll bump Guernsey out?
That would depend on what space there is in the combined counties, because that's the only other area they put them into. I would think potentially.
That's a decent away day, but do you know what I mean?
Well, this is why I said at the very beginning of the season, and same with Jersey, enjoy it, embrace it, because you may never get the chance to do it again. Because I mean, if Jersey go through the playoffs in step 3, they may never come back down again. So that's a one-off opportunity. Guernsey may, if they win promotion, and if Jersey win promotion. See, if Guernsey could go back up and they go into the South Central, so them and Jersey are in opposite divisions. So then again, that's it, it's done. You probably won't get the opportunity again, because potentially one of them, if they ever drop back down, we're going to the combined counties. Lingfield will probably be at risk because they're Surrey.
They're the one I'm thinking of. That's the one I'm thinking of prime at risk.
And it really does depend on the model and who drops down as well, from the very top from the National League all the way down, has like a ripple effect all the way through.
And Trev, when would clubs find out about this? I mean, how much preparation would they get?
Plenty. As soon as the season's finished, the only one that finishes later than anyone else is the National League, but you're only talking 1 club to go into the Football League, so that makes no difference. So the other 4 would have been relegated. So by the time the middle of May is done, then they'd be looking at exactly who's where and who's what, and then they'll stick those out as soon as they can, because clubs can appeal against it. But 99% of the time, those appeals never work anyway. Wherever you're stuck, you're stuck. It's no longer a case of like you're a Sussex team, you're being a Sussex-based thing. You sign like a 1-year contract with that league for the year, and then you're a free agent at the end of that. That's kind of how it works. Go on, Chris.
The one exception to that was the season just gone when was it the Skeff? It wasn't the Skeffel.
No, the combined counties
that finished in June, because all the teams were basically grassing on one another, playing eligible players. So there was loads of points deductions and stuff. So,
other than that possibly only affected Guernsey, and because they'd already decided to put them into us anyway, because Jersey couldn't be in the same division, it really didn't have any impact whatsoever. But the fact of last year 3 southern sides getting relegated from the National League then caused a ripple all the way through, because one had to go to the north it meant others moving around over the place as well. And you'll get one or two sides that will take voluntary relegation that don't want to go up, can't afford to, so they end up dropping down 2 divisions. So then it moves people around all over the place as well. But they do get it out really relatively quick. It's, I mean, the guide that I use is just their opinion of who possibly could go where. It's not set in stone, but when you look at somebody, you think, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like the latest one I've seen moves Chichester into the Southern League just because of the mix of teams that are going into that division and coming down from that division, but actually probably travelling wise, it probably doesn't actually work out too bad for them because of where they are on the A27, rather than if you think of, you know, they're going to Essex quite often, like Dabba said, you know, Canvey on Tuesday night. They've got Billericay, Averley at the moment. Who else is there? Folkestone, you know, fair distance to Ramsgate, fair distance to travel if you get them on a Tuesday night, but you go the other side of it and your travelling time is probably a lot less. The traffic's a lot less because you're going more country way rather than you're trying to get round the M25 to get to these places, and so is everyone else trying to get home. It might work out easier. Same as Littlehampton wanting to move because the mileage works out a lot easier for them. But again, if they stayed up, depending on where everyone else fits, they may get told, sorry, you're getting shunted back again, even though that works for them in there. You can only accommodate everyone so far because the country just doesn't split into a perfect square. So you just have to do what you can. And then obviously you get the Channel Islands, you know, tugging on at the corners.
Yeah, I'm not gonna slag off go to the Channel Islands ahead of this weekend.
Oh, you going? Are you going to Jersey? Are you?
Yeah, man. Cannot wait. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, mate, enjoy. You have a cracking time.
Well, knowing we're pretty much safe from relegation as well is a bit, you know, it's a massive weight off.
Easier weekend, isn't it?
Well, because Jersey are like 11 unbeaten. That is not an easy place to go. Needing
Boy,
results.
there'll be a crowd there and all.
Oh, I know. Yeah. No, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I want to see some photos, mate. I want to see you going mad.
Well, I'll probably look better than I do in that poxy graphic you put out this afternoon.
That's very true. Right, let's get into the Southern Combination Premier Division. And last Saturday, Guernsey beat Bexhill United by 3-2. Lancing beat Eastbourne United by 2-1. Little Common and Forest Road shared a 2-2 draw. Pagham beat Newhaven 2-1. Peacehaven and Telscombe beat Midhurst and Eastbourne by the same score. Roffey and Vardinians shared a 1-1 draw. Wick won 3-1 at Seaford Town. Shoreham lost 2-0 at home to Horsham YM, and Stenning Town beat Croydon Gatwick 3-2. Then on Tuesday evening, Stenning Town won 5-1 at Little Common. Pagham beat Roffey by 2-1, and Midhurst and Eastbourne against Guernsey was abandoned. This evening, Lingfield are hosting Newhaven at AFC Whiteleaf, and at halftime, Chris, the score is currently
happening.
This is where Gaz would be going, although he might actually be organised with this sort of thing. He's normally quite good at it.
Yeah, maybe. In terms of the halftime score there, we are talking Lingfield 1, Newhaven 3.
Okay. This coming Saturday, Eastbourne United host Guernsey at 2 p.m. AFC Vardinians are at home to Little Common. Shoreham travel to Bexhill United. It's Croydon Gatwick against Peacehaven and Telscombe. Forest Row at home to Seaford Town. Hayward Heath Town at home to Pagham. Lancing head to Horsham YM. Midhurst and Eastbourne at home to Stenning Town, and Wick at home to Roffey. Then on Tuesday evening, Roffey are at home to Seaford Town with a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Mike, you were at Shoreham against Horsham YM on Saturday afternoon. There weren't very many goals.
No, pretty crap game as well, to be fair. Yeah, I mean,
ever the salesman.
You know, so I say is, to be fair, Shoreham are playing a lot better lately. They really are. You know, for what they're doing, and then you know they're fighting. They're going down fighting at least. If they're not gonna do it. Dodgy red card, possibly for Noel Fisher. You know, a lad I know well. I know the twins well, obviously. It's a great player. Didn't see it, but from what I heard, it's soft. I don't think the Horsham manager was too happy with the performance. To be fair, you know, and he'll big his side up if he got it right. But yeah, But good teams grind out results at the business end. You know, there's a chances. You know that could have been a banana skin for the Horsham boys. It really could. But take nothing away from Shoreham at all. Connor and his lads are going out, still doing bits, still trying to make things happen on the pitch. You know, and you know the mood in the camp seemed pretty jovial when I was there. Loads of people there as well. Really, loads of people at Middle Road down there, which was great to see. But yeah, another one ticked off for Horsham now. Sort of met some of the players. I spoke to Gids after the game as well. You know, he'd had a tough few weeks. He was in good spirits. He was in good spirits, which was really nice to see. I think they'll now start looking at where they're going to finish now in the playoffs, because it could be quite interesting where you finish now. Because I don't think nobody's going to want to go to Guernsey away on a Tuesday. Do you know what I mean?
It's even at the moment, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, could be. So, but yeah, look, one ticked off, wasn't a classic. Typical Mike McCaffrey match report, to be fair. But yeah, you know,
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to want an away game in the playoffs, because all four of them, well, in fact, all five of the top five. I mean,
do you think they're set now, near enough?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I do.
No one's going to catch, because you're asking probably two sides to lose every game to the end of the season and two sides to win every game to the end of the season, which isn't quite going to happen.
No, and they're all in they're all in pretty decent nick as well. Like, it's not like you're asking them to just deteriorate a little bit. They'd have to deteriorate a heck of a lot, because like Peacehaven are now 14 unbeaten.
Peacehaven, they
14.
are on flames. Do you know what I mean? At the business end of the season, to get 14 unbeaten, I think they didn't they win 10 or 11, 12 in a row, something like that?
11. Yeah, they won 11 in a row.
You know, they forced us to speak about them.
I was at the game when they played Hayward Heath a few weeks ago on a Tuesday night, and it was 2-1.
Yeah, and they won 2-0, didn't they? And didn't they have one that was dodgily disallowed?
Yeah, it bounced in off the frame of the goal,
and they were real value for it, weren't they?
Oh, they were superb. They were superb. 2-1. It was like the biggest 2-1 battering I can recall. You know, they were seriously good value for it, and I mean,
no one's going to want to play them in the playoffs.
Well, no one's going to want. This is the thing, though. I think
no one's going to want to play either Hayward Heath or Stenning. No one's going to want to play YM. No one's going to play Guernsey.
No,
this is going to be quality.
It's going to be absolutely hardcore playoffs, and I'm here for it. It's going to be great.
I mean,
do you know what would be brilliant is if both games are streamed, so you could sit there with a popcorn, a split screen.
Yeah,
Sky Sports.
Louis, if you're watching, get it sorted, son.
I'll tell you what I'd like to get on for the show when we got the playoffs coming up. He's one of the ex-Horsham coaches. His name's Coach Rafaz. Yeah, he does brilliant stuff on Instagram. He breaks down all the tactics and everything like that. And he's also the manager of Carpet FC, I think, one of his little side teams. But yeah, he is doing bits online on his socials, Coach Rafaz, you know, on there. And he breaks down a game with the tactics board, makes even the most untactically minded person like myself able to understand what's actually happening. You know, Raf, if you're out there, mate, get in contact.
Let's rent a studio and just do it ourselves.
Mate, he's brave, this boy.
Like a little soccer Saturday.
Yeah, split it 2x2. 2 of us on one, 2 of us on the other. That'd be awesome. But
or we could just actually go to a game and watch it.
I'm happy with that. Well, as long as it's not on the island, because that's a bit of a bugger to get to. Yeah, I'm hoping Guernsey away just for logistical reasons.
It's brilliant if it's on the island.
By the way, massive shout out for that. Shout out to them game with Midhurst last night. Shout out, because obviously one of the players.
How's that lad? How's the lad?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like shout out to Midhurst and everyone involved with that, because that sounded horrible. And also shout out to Guernsey, because you come all this way for a game, you at least hope it goes to a conclusion.
Who was the lad? Who was the lad? Do we know from Midhurst?
No, I don't.
I don't. Unfortunately, with Midhurst, best of luck to them. They're not great on socials, so it's kind of hard to understand what's happened. But yeah, I mean,
it was supposed to be a bad one, though, wasn't it? Bless him.
They wouldn't. I don't. Yeah, the refs, if they don't call games off willy nilly, so that's obviously a serious one. I don't think there's any doubt in that. Just wish them a speedy recovery, but good result for Lancing.
Yeah,
Massive for Lancing. I mean, I've said for a while that Eastbourne Borough.
That wasn't on my bingo card.
You were where?
That wasn't on my bingo card. That one.
No, Eastbourne United are a bit weird away from home. I've said this for a while. Like, most of their away victories have come at their home ground, so which is a bit unusual. And they've had a bit of an upturn in that regard. To be fair, of recent week, because they won at New Haven. I think they won at They won at Pagham. They won somewhere else. Might not have been Pagham, but
Pagham actually no.
But that's got me thinking now. But they've certainly won 2 away games of recent times that weren't at the Oval. Which is was a bit of a departure for them. So they won it was at Pagham. They won 4-2 at Pagham. They won at Vandinians as well and at New Haven.
Was that really early in the season?
No, in the last month. So yeah, it was one of the Tuesday games. But yeah, other than that, like most of their away wins up until then had been at the Oval because they've managed to move games there. So that, I mean, Lancing needed that big time. Because even with that win, they're still a point behind the Vandinians. So
the weekends they're away to Horsham YM.
And Vandinians have got Little Common at home. Now Little Common have been brilliant this season for them. They're in the Peter Bentley Cup final. Last season they started with like 5 points up until Christmas, and this season they've not even been within any sort of sniff of relegation. So this has been a successful season for them.
What did the model say?
Well, what I'm saying is, if you're Vandinians, that's one you want to try and get yourself. The model is saying, I think 78% of the time, it's going to be Lancing and Shoreham going down together.
Yeah, what about up the other end of the thing? Because that is just going to go to the wire.
Well, it's still in Hayward Heath's hands, but I tell you, again, it's all pointing to Hanbury Park on Easter Monday, isn't it?
Their game in hand, Hayward Heath, is at Lancing at the end of March. Where's he gone?
Well, he's had the same problem as some other guys do. The broadband, do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's on dial-up.
It must be. Anyway, as I was saying, Hayward Heath's game in hand is at Lancing end of the month.
Stenning, they've been relentless. They don't look like dropping points. Hayward Heath now have got to match that. It's going to be one humdinger of a game
on Easter Monday, yeah. But they've also got to be aware of Guernsey, though, because Guernsey aren't out of it. You can't afford to. Either of them can't rest up because they'll be going, "Thank you very much. We'll take your spot for you."
Who do you think?
Who? Me? Well, I went Stenning start of the year. You went Hayward Heath, so I'm sticking with it. But I'll be there on Easter Monday to see which one comes out on top, because a draw is no good for Stenning because of Hayward Heath's goal difference. They've got to go for the win, but Heath have got enough weapons.
Well, that's going to be tasty, isn't it?
Yeah,
a tasty game
to go and take it. So, and I know Chris mentioned a good win for Lance as well, but good win for Wick down at Seaford might just allay some of their relegation fears. But they've had 3 points deducted, I assume, for fielding an ineligible player. So those points technically don't count. So they're still on 27. So they're still a little bit within touching distance. But I think one more victory will see them okay. But obviously, as Chris has said in the past, they've got Shoreham and Lancing over Bank Holiday weekend.
What? I went down with Gareth, didn't I, a couple of weeks ago, and saw them play Lingfield.
Yeah.
And they weren't great that day, but they've definitely 100% got enough in that squad to keep them up, because there is some, Lee and Craig got some really exciting times coming over the next year, 18 months, so keeping them in that league is obviously imperative. They've got to do that, because, they just signed the deal with McDonald's.
Loving it.
and there's some other things that they're doing behind there, aren't they? So
Yeah.
And I've just seen someone's commented that I was actually in the stands with. To be fair, Connor, my guy Connor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that they'll be fine. But yeah, they need it. And that.
Yeah. Right. Let's get into Division 1. No idea where the
Have we
stat
actually
man is.
killed the stat man then?
I think we have. Yeah, Evo, he's killed himself. I think he's over. He's over.
Or has he just quit like live on air?
He's overstimulated himself tonight with his stats, I think. Right, last weekend, Arundel drew 2-2 at AFC Uckfield Town. East Preston and Oakwood drew 1 each. Infinity beat Copthorne 7-0. Mile Oak beat Godalming Town 2-1. Reigate Priory beat Selsey by 3-0. Ringmer AFC and Dorking Wanderers B shared a 3-3 draw. Saltden United beat Loxford 3-0. And Worthing United beat AFC Wall Counties 1-0. On Tuesday evening, the Sussex FARUR Charity Cup semi-final, Worthing United beat Selsey by 2-0. In Division 1, AFC Uckfield Town and Billingshurst was abandoned for floodlight failure. As we mentioned earlier, Infinity beat Arundel 4-1. Reigate Priory won 3-1 at Jarvis Brook, and Oakwood beat Ringmer AFC 1-0. This coming Saturday, AFC Wall Counties host Billingshurst. Worthing United head to Copthorne. Loxford are at Dorking Wanderers B. East Preston at home to AFC Uckfield Town. Godalming Town against Arundel. Jarvis Brook host Infinity. Mile Oak away at Oakwood, and Selsey at home to Saltden United. Then on Tuesday evening, it's AFC Uckfield Town against Jarvis Brook at 7:30. Loxford head to AFC Wall Counties. Arundel at home to Ringmer AFC. Billingshurst at home to Reigate Priory, and Oakwood at home to Copthorne. And as we said earlier, Mike, obviously Infinity hit the top of the table with their 2 wins during the week, and Godalming's slightly surprising defeat at Mile Oak on Saturday.
Yeah, I think, look, Godalming, they came out the traps like anything. They were relentlessly getting points on the board, hard to beat, especially at home. They have been over the last 2-3 seasons. You know, I think they've only lost 3 or 4 or 5 at the most over the last couple of years. Every team's gonna have a spell where
Arundel ever getting a game on. Yeah, they played last night at home, Ryan.
Every team's gonna have a spell where they go through it.
Yeah.
And most boys are going through that spell now.
Oh, there he is. Hang on.
Ideally, it's not the best time to be going through the spell when you're coming into what we'll call the business end of the season. You know, this is where you want to be informed, like your Peace Havens, like your Infinities, coming into it. I still think they have more than enough to hold on and get the job done. You know, so but this is another league that is completely going down to the wire again, like the league above.
Well, you know? I mean, my model's even more unsure about this one.
Nice to have you back, Chris, by the way. Nice to have you back.
Yeah, sorry, my web decided to just kick me off completely. I don't understand why. It's been doing it all day. It's annoying. But in terms of this division, oh, baby, this is going to be fun. Like, my model's completely unsure. I reckon Godalming 51%. That's it.
And has that gone down from like 70% you had it, didn't you?
I think it was up in the 80s, I think, a few weeks ago. Because, again, we kept saying, like, they were the winners because even though they were never playing.
Yes.
But the reality is now, Infinity have very much caught them up. I mean, not literally, but, you know, pretty much figuratively.
It does need Godalming to fuck up, though.
Oh, yeah, like Dex said earlier, it's in their hands, for sure.
Yeah.
My model's got them half a point separate, or 0.48 points. That's the margin. So
mad, isn't it? And I think at the other end of the table, we've got to mention Oakwood, 4 points over the last 7 days as well. It's starting to make it a little bit twitchy, I think, for maybe a few people's bum holes at that bottom end.
Yeah, completely agree. I'm not going to lie, I thought it was a bit done fairly, up until fairly recently. But no, 2 great results for Oakwood of late. I mean, beating Ringmer last night, it was a home game, but it was an away game because it was at Ringmer. So, like, that's a decent result. Because Ringmer, over the last few months have been pretty decent. So, yeah, that's again, it's going to go to the wire, isn't it?
Mm.
I've got some info about that 3 points being deducted from Wick, by the way, just now.
Yeah.
We've just had very key figure at the club messaging. 3 points deducted was due to Ben Gray. Didn't show up on the league portal as being suspended for 5 bookings. So he played and showed up on the Mondays. He didn't play on the Tuesday night game. League said it didn't show up. The ref returned the match card 2 weeks late. Obviously, they appealed and it should have done, but they said they should have done their own due diligence. So sounds like a bit of a tough one on Wick for that, you know. Really is.
Just to go back to Oakwood, though, their last 6 games. their last 6 games. Billingshurst at home, Godalming away, Reigate home, Worthing away, Arundel away, Infinity at home.
Who's that, Wicks?
No, I'd be surprised if it was Wick. That'll be Oakwood. So they've got basically the top 6.
But Oakwood this time of year put together the run of form of their life, and they did it last year and the year before.
Yeah.
And I remember Andy Greaves saying to me as well about it. There was no rhyme or reason for it, but I said to Tommy Haddon a couple of weeks ago as well, because a few people have been asking how many go down in each division, and it should be 3 go down in that division. So you need to make sure you got enough points to be well away from there. But I said beware of Oakwood and their run of form picks up for some reason, even though they end up with tons of games to play and can't always generally play on their own pitch. Just watch out for them.
Because didn't they start playing games at Jubilee Fields last year?
They played a couple elsewhere. I can't think where last year.
I thought it was
they did most on them there's the end, but yeah, they had to play a few elsewhere.
They definitely played. I'm sure because they come up with a couple of really unexpected wins when they were at home. Didn't it be Forest Road at 3 Bridges? Am I remembering that right? I don't know. But anyway, but they have got. We'll say for Oakwood, they do have Copthorne on the 24th. So next midweek, which again, if you want in points, that should be another 3. And all of a sudden, Lockswood are looking over their shoulders a bit.
So, one Statman's models, who goes down at the moment?
This is one where I've kind of steered away from. Because
Copthorne will stay up.
Copthorne are goosed. No. It was more just because, like we saw with Copthorne last year, you think they might go down, but then ground grading and all these sorts of other factors come in.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of reprieves.
I'm not.
No.
Well, I mean, as we've said this year, and you asked me a few weeks ago, Mike, like with Copthorne as well, it's done them no favours this year. They've had a whole wasted season. I'm surprised they've turned out 16 players in most games. Because why would you turn up knowing you're going to get thumped every week? Because you're at a level you shouldn't be at.
Well, where is their ground outside of Meadowbank? Outside of Horsham's. Where is their ground? Because they play at Horsham, don't they?
Yeah, they're second still play in Copthorne, so it's not good enough to be county standard. That's why they ground share, same as Forest Road.
How can that be sustainable? Paying
it's
all
not.
that money for fee?
It's not. But then it's
they're not even getting the bodies, the asses through the gates, are they?
No. And then as we've seen
attendance
with
11 the other day.
Huh?
It was attendance 11 the other day.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. I mean, as we've seen with the National League clubs, North and South, that posted losses earlier this week as well. It's all right all the time someone's putting money in, but if they just turn around tomorrow morning and went, you know what, I'm not putting any more in, and that, they're all gone. And I've said as well with ground sharing, the dangerous thing is, and I said when we did the documentary last year as well, that unless you've actually got a plan to move out of where you are to redevelop that over like a 2-year period or something and then go back home, it's sustainable. Without it, if you're just moving out to get promotion, which a lot of clubs do, there is no sustainability with it, and they're likely to disappear.
Well, look at the ones that like Forest Row, for instance, because how long is their agreement at 3 Bridges? Is that just for the 3 Bridges? Yeah, 3 Bridges. Is it just for the season? Because
no, you have to sign for longer than that. I think different levels require you to sign for a certain amount of time as like a guarantee.
Yeah,
but at the same time, though, there's probably break clauses in that. Clubs move anyway because they're either not happy with the facilities they've got, to go elsewhere. But I just don't. I mean,
what do you think would happen if they went down, Trev?
Who?
We've got form there. Could they go back to their old ground? Is it good enough for that level?
I don't know. I mean, Ryan's put his own comment as to what it's actually like. Whether it's good enough for Division 2, Step 7, possibly is. But then if they want to come back up again, but why would you pay to play at Horsham for Division 2 football?
But then surely you've got to be making the investment into the infrastructure that you have in the background to get ready to move you on. Otherwise, it's just going to be a little can you're kicking down the road.
Yeah, but a lot of clubs do it.
There's no long-term plan.
No,
I might be completely wrong.
But
it doesn't look like that.
It's the complete. I wouldn't mind, but it's the complete other side of Crawley as well, isn't it? Like it's not. It's nearer. I thought Copthorne was nearer East Grinstead.
It's kind of in the middle. It's kind of in the middle as you go as you come off of the Crawley turn off and go the opposite way towards East Grinstead. You pass through Copthorne as you go through to East Grinstead. But like I say, so many clubs move out, go into somewhere else, literally just to gain promotion because they know they can't do it there. But in some cases, they are too good for the division they're in. But who knows? Yeah, so would I. Just wouldn't be, I mean, I can't imagine who's putting the money in at the moment because they ain't getting nothing through the gate, and someone's putting money in for the
Someone's making it rain.
Well, like I said to you a few times, Mike, just stick it on a bonfire because that's literally all it's doing is going up in smoke every week. But there we go. Just before we go as well, congratulations to Worthing United for reaching the RUR Cup final. Wednesday, the 22nd of April against.
I think that's the first one in their history.
That is the first one for them, yeah.
The club that I played at when I was a youngster. Love that club.
Price was in black and white, wasn't it?
Well, at least I played, mate.
So is that them versus Little Common then?
Maybe you did, huh?
No, it's Hayward Heath, isn't it?
Hayward Heath they've got. This is your RUR.
Oh, the RUR. Sorry, I thought it was PB.
Chris, you don't do cup, so pipe down this one. You stay out of that. Right, let's get into Step 7 and results in the Southern Combination Division 2 last week. Brighton Electricity and Southwater drew 1 each. Capel and Ferring was postponed. Rudgwick beat Bosham 3-1. Rustington beat Chester City B 2-1. TD Shipley and Howsham Town was postponed. Upper Beeding beat AFC Brighton Rangers 3-2. And Worthing Town beat Storrington by 4-1. On Tuesday evening in the Division 2 Challenge Cup semi-final, Rustington beat Howsham by 1-0. This coming Saturday, AFC Brighton Rangers against Brighton Electricity and Lancing. Capel host Alfold. Chester City B against Rudgwick. Upper Beeding head to Ferring. Rustington away at Howsham Town. Quick turnaround from Tuesday night. Southwater at home to Worthing Town and TD Shipley host Storrington. Then on Tuesday evening, in Division 2 Challenge Cup semi-final, Capel are against TD Shipley at Shoreham FC. In the Mid-Sussex League last Saturday in the Centenary Cup, Billingshurst Reserves beat Huntston 4-3. In the Premier Division, why am I doing the West Sussex? I've missed out the Mid-Sussex.
I was mentioning something about the Div tournament as well.
In the West Sussex, because I've missed out completely the Mid-Sussex. So Angmering lost 2-0 at home to Dell United. Holbrook Olympic against TD Shipley was postponed. Petworth drew 3-3 with Wittering United. Watersfield beat Horsham Crusaders by 4-2. This coming Saturday, AFC Fishbourne host Petworth. Angmering United at home to Wittering United. Billingshurst Reserves against Watersfield. Dale United host Horsham Crusaders. And Harting are at home to TD Shipley. Right, Mike, you say what you want to about Division 2 and I'll get...
Yeah, I'm looking at that league's heating up as well now. Ruston didn't look like, they, over the last couple of years, have been clearly the best team in that league. Okay, especially with the players they got. We know the players can play much higher in there. And, they had a really bad start. TD Shipley, they went like 12-13 on the bounce. And then Howsham come through again. Chichester were always there. But then Ruston have been quietly going about their business. I think they're like 14 in a row now. Massive win against Howsham as well. They're putting themselves back in that box seat. That's another league. All 3 leagues are going to the wire with that one. And I'll tell you, I couldn't back against Ruston in the form they're in, to be fair.
No, you're probably right. It's actually Chichester City B they beat. Horsham was in the cup. Horsham, sorry, was in the cup.
It was in the cup, was it?
Yeah.
And look, they're
Yeah,
playing the league game this week, is it?
Yeah, but obviously Chichester City B are eligible for promotion as well. So beating them last weekend actually was a result they needed. But they've got to go and repeat it again at Horsham because Horsham are also eligible for promotion.
So what's that? 3 or 4 teams are eligible now?
3.
3.
3 in that division. Now, Alfold applied, but they won't be going up anyway.
No.
Was that right? Let's do the Mid Sussex results. Last Saturday, Balcombe beat French Athletic by 3-2. Rotherfield won 5-0 at Polegate Town. Hollington United and Reigate Pro Reserves drew 2-2. Excuse me. And Crowhurst beat Cookfield Rangers by 2-0. On Tuesday evening in this Hastings Intermediate Cup semi-final, Westfield beat Westfield Reserves by 3-0. So clearly no ringers in that one. This coming Saturday, French Athletic host Rotherfield, Holland Sports at home to Balcombe, Linfield head to Hollington United, Reigate Pro Reserves are against Polegate Town, and it's the battle of the top 2 as Westfield host Crowhurst. Those 2, the only 2 sides that are eligible for promotion from that division. So that is a.
And who's winning that league at the moment?
Crowhurst are, but Westfield, I think, have got 2 games in hand, and they're about 2 points behind. I think something like that.
I really hope Westfield go up. You know,
it was this weekend last season, Mike, that there was non-league day. It was when Ringmer played Westfield.
That's when we did all the filming, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's now 12 months on, and they've got Crowhurst. What are the chances? And also, you got Hailsham Rustington. What are the chances of that? That's massive.
But on the other side of it, the ground sharing thing we were saying about, Crowhurst don't play in Crowhurst; they share at Eastbourne United.
Yeah, I don't even know where Crowhurst is. I don't think it's anywhere near.
It's halfway between Battle and Pevensey, I'd say, on that kind of road, sort of Ninfieldy kind of bit. Or maybe the outskirts of Hastings, one or the other. But yeah,
I think I've only ever done that. I'll tell you the only time I've done that was when my daughter was born and we were trying to get to the Conquest.
There we go.
Fun and games for you.
That was a cracking day, that non-league day last time, wasn't it? A few beers that day, wasn't there?
I can say from what I can remember, yeah.
A few beers at the K-Burn.
As always. Right. Team of the week sponsored by Singer's Roofing Specialists. Few clubs in the equation this week. Reigate Priory, Pagham and Stenning all won twice, Saturday and Tuesday. But overwhelmingly, team of the week's got to be Three Bridges. Then march to the Sussex final and another late winner beating Sevenoaks on Saturday with another 3 points closer to the title. So congratulations once again to Jamie and his team down there. Three Bridges are second team of the week, I think, for March. Right. Any shout out?
I mean, I'll shout out Eastbourne Town just for beating Sittingbourne because that was a massive.
I do apologise, mate. I did write that down on the list, but for some reason I just forgot to ask you about it. But there we go.
Oh no, that's fine. Sittingbourne away was a bit of an adair for our season. It was the 5th defeat in a row. We lost 5-0. We had one senior on the bench, but hey, we won with a cracking save. It must be said. 2 penalties from Alfie Rogers, albeit one saved, but he then headed it in. The save for that first penalty was out of this world. Donnarumma would have been proud of that one. Tipped onto the bar. Unfortunately, it was from the outfield player and he got sent off. But no, Sittingbourne had lost one of 18 prior to that game, and that was away at Croydon. So for Town we've gone 3 unbeaten now. We were unlucky to draw at Mersham, then we drew with Faversham and beat Sittingbourne. To get 5 points out of that for a team like Town is mad. So, yeah, great props to them.
Mike?
No shout-outs for me.
Okay.
Grumpily, no.
Right, first one, Ryan Blunt at New Haven, 21 years old, already 150 appearances under his belt.
That is insane.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Crazy. So congratulations to Ryan. Second shout out is us over on Instagram. Gaz is trying to get up to 1,500 followers by Easter. We're currently at 1,342. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, please go and do so. Help him reach his targets. He's doing some great stuff on Instagram, on TikTok. When he actually gets to a game, it makes a difference.
He gets to loads of games, mate. You always give him loads of grief. He gets to loads.
Mate, I've known him for 14 years, so he's worth the grief. I mean, he flipping phoned me last night. He gets loads
of Arundel games anyway.
Well, he does, yeah. He thinks he's overcooked it now, though, but because we were trying to work out where to go next Tuesday, and he said, it's Arundel at home to ring me. He said, but I think I've overcooked Arundel now. And to be fair, he probably has, so I don't think he'd be going there. And the other shout out I want to make is to a Barnet fan I met last night at Crawley, who lives in Crawley as well, but listens to the podcast. His name's Warren. I was happily minding my own business, getting there early yesterday with my pint and my 2 sausage rolls, and they were really good, really thick sausage rolls as well, worth the money. And he comes over and just starts chatting, and then goes, "You do all the Sussex non-league stuff, don't you?" And go all over. I said, "Yeah." I said, "That's me." He said, "Trevor, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah." And there you go, nice little short story. So obviously we stood around for the 90 minutes and that, and keeping an eye on the scores and everything. So shout out to you, Warren. Thank you very much for listening, and nice to have another Barnet fan in Sussex, because there are a few.
That's 2 of you.
No, there's 3 actually, because Terry's a Barnet fan.
Don't forget Terry. You met at the weekend.
Terry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Terry the C. I met Terry to be in the bar at the weekend. Yeah.
Surprised that Terry wasn't there last night actually. So being it's quite local. So
cool lad, Terry.
So there we go. Right. Where's everyone off to this weekend and Tuesday?
Mate, I'm doing something different this weekend. I'm dusting off the £9 Temu boots.
He's not
the high tech tracksuit, the sweatband, the notebook, the whistle.
Are you doing a Brighton half marathon?
Notebook. You can't read.
I am hopefully going to do one game actually in the dugout with Upper Beedon. They're away to Ferrin in Div 2. So they're I'm going to go in there as one of their coaches. Going to film it, get mic'd up, and yeah. I like the Ferrin boys, good boys. I've had some battles with them over the years. One of my mates, John Rodey's there. He's my age. I used to play with him in the school select teams, and that. He's good lad. He's still doing bits now, and his boys playing for Ferrin. We're going over there with Ryan Harmon. He's for a beating. Yeah, so I don't think he knows what he's let himself in for, to be fair. So it'll be a good game.
Tuesday?
One step at a time. I might be in contention for jobs after Saturday, mate. So I can't talk about Tuesday yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. Let's see how it goes on Saturday first. Chris, you're going international Saturday, aren't you?
I'm going where?
It's international.
I am, yeah. Getting on a jet plane to Jersey. Sussex FC, shout out to them. They've just tweeted me. Well, they've just DM'd me a load of pub recommendations. I don't know why. I don't know where they got the idea that I like a beer.
Love that.
I don't know where they got the idea I like a beer.
No, neither do I, as he slurps on a Moreno.
So yeah, that, and then Tuesday, I don't know. I'll probably have to play Happy Families, given the some bugging off international.
How long are you going for, Statman?
So we head out on Friday lunchtime, and then I'm back annoyingly close to the Carabao Cup final. So I'm probably going to miss that. In fact, I am going to miss it because the trains are goosed, I think. So I think I'm having a casual lift back to Eastbourne from Gatwick.
You're going for the prop, or are you going for the Friday, Sunday, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did when I went to
Well, it's like I was saying. It's like Trevor was saying earlier. You never know when these opportunities are going to come back again, do you? So particularly with Jersey,
go and enjoy it, mate. Go and enjoy it, and you know there'll be loads of people there.
Oh yeah, well, we're taking about 30 odd. Jersey seems like a real. I'm meeting up with a colleague who's on mat leave. So she moved out there. So I thought, yeah, sack it while I'm there. Be reading not to.
Oi, when you're out there, do us a favour.
Yeah, what's that?
Get friendly with that Jersey lot, because the game that Jersey play against Guernsey is called the Moretti game. Yeah.
Oh, that's fortunate, isn't it? Anyway,
mate, I haven't even drunk tonight. I've been on the water.
oh no, but them two, yeah, that'd be a right laugh.
But that game gets like 3,000 people at a time when they play. They play one each year, and it gets a bit proper. So go and find out. See if you can go and blag us some tickets or something, or some like dodgy media passes that we can make up. So
I don't think tickets to the actual game will be the problem. It's more just the fact,
mate. Both islands closed down for that game. So go and find out and get us some things.
Ooh, I shall do that.
See if you find us the third island.
Yeah, Dominic.
There you go, Ratty Vars. See if you find us a third island to stay on as well, so we're not showing favouritism.
There is a third island.
Alderney.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I've spoken to the guys there because they're quite keen to try and get people to move over there, work over there, and play for them because they're quite keen to get into the pyramid as well.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Well, Statman, you go on a little spying mission this weekend, mate. See what you can do. Go and take take some goodies or something like that. Go and butter them up for us.
You say take some cookies?
Goodies.
Oh, goodies.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give him a free calculator.
And a copy of last year's stat pack. This is what you can expect. Goes through, right, fantastic stuff. Right, that's us done for the evening. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find us on X at the SNLF and Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, the SNLF.co.uk, and on YouTube at the SNLF podcast. Mike is at the SNLF Dugout Diaries.
SNLF DOD.
And Chris is at _Chris Pryor. Well, that's it for another week. We'll see you again in 7 days' time. And if you're heading anywhere for your football next Saturday or Tuesday, enjoy.
Yeah, really good numbers. Thanks for everyone supporting again tonight, for doing everything. Subscribe to the socials.
Why do you not do that in the shout outs?
Huh?
So why do you not do that in the shout outs and it fits?
Just making sure that the fans know and the supporters.
There's always one, isn't there? Always one.
I'm a disruptor, mate.
Yeah, don't we know it? Right, see you all again in 7 days' time.